What if every choice you ever made, every fork in the road, every whispered yes or shouted no, wasn't entirely yours? What if lurking deep within the folds of your consciousness there are invisible strings, pulled by forces you can't see, shaping your destiny without your explicit consent? For centuries, philosophers and scientists have grappled with the illusion of free will, but modern neuroscience and psychology are now peeling back the layers, revealing a truth far more disturbing than we ever imagined. The evidence suggests our decisions, even the most profound ones, are often made before we're even aware of them. Are we just puppets, dancing to a pre-written score, or can we ever truly break free? To truly grasp the chilling implications of our decision-making, we need to journey back to the 1980s, to a pioneering experiment conducted by neuroscientist Benjamin Libet. It was a deceptively simple setup. Participants were asked to perform a spontaneous, simple action, like flicking their wrist whenever they felt the urge. Crucially, they were also instructed to note the exact moment they consciously decided to move by observing a rapidly moving dot on a clock face. What Libet discovered sent shockwaves through the scientific community. He found that a specific brain signal, known as the readiness potential, consistently appeared a full several hundred milliseconds before. The participant became consciously aware of their decision to move. Think about that for a moment. Your brain had already initiated the action before you, the conscious you, even knew you were going to do it. It's as if your deepest unseen self had already made the call, and your conscious mind was merely playing catch-up, providing a post-hoc justification for a decision already sealed. This wasn't just a philosophical debate. This was hard scientific evidence suggesting our sense of agency, our feeling of being the author of our own actions, might be an elaborate illusion, a trick of the mind designed to maintain a sense of control. But the rabbit hole goes far deeper than a simple wrist flick. This readiness potential was just the tip of the iceberg, a first glint into the vast, murky subconscious ocean where most of our decisions are actually formed. Consider the countless unconscious biases that sway our judgments without us ever realizing it. The halo effect, where a person's positive trait, like attractiveness, subconsciously influences our perception of their other unrelated traits, like intelligence or honesty. Or confirmation bias, where we instinctively seek out and interpret information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs, conveniently ignoring anything that challenges our comfortable worldview. These aren't intentional choices. They are subterranean currents, rerouting the flow of our thoughts and perceptions long before they reach the surface of our awareness. Think about the last time you made a significant purchase, chose a career path, or even picked a partner. How much of that decision was truly a deliberate, rational analysis, and how much was a gut feeling, an instinct echoing from depths you can't articulate? Psychologists now believe these gut feelings are the culmination of countless subconscious calculations, pattern recognitions, and emotional associations, all processed at lightning speed, far beyond the reach of our slow, deliberate conscious thought. Your brain has absorbed years of experiences, societal norms, and emotional conditioning. It forms complex algorithms, almost like a predictive engine, constantly anticipating what's coming next and subtly nudging you towards a particular path. It's not just about avoiding danger, it's about navigating the social landscape, forming opinions, and even dictating your preferences for everything from music to political alignments. And speaking of prediction, modern neuroscience is exploring the concept of predictive processing, the idea that our brains don't just react to the world but actively predict it. Our sensory experiences aren't raw data, they are constantly being filtered and interpreted through the lens of our brain's predictions. When the predictions match reality, we feel a sense of fluency and confirmation. When they don't, that's when our brain pays attention, updates its models, and adjusts its predictions for the future. So, when you decide to reach for a glass of water, your brain has likely already predicted that action, initiated the motor commands, and is merely waiting for the sensory feedback to confirm its prediction. The decision then feels like a conscious choice because it aligns with the brain's internal narrative. However, what if those initial predictions are skewed by past traumas, ingrained fears, or even subtle environmental cues you didn't consciously register. Your free decision would then be a consequence of a pre-programmed likelihood, a predictable outcome rather than a truly independent act. The insidious nature of this concept is that it makes you question everything. Are you truly choosing your favorite meal, or is it the culmination of a decade of dopamine hits and childhood associations? Is your political stance a result of careful analysis or the reinforcement of an identity shaped by your social circles and media consumption? The deeper you look, the more the lines blur between conscious choice and unconscious compulsion. What they discovered next changed everything. Building on Libet's work, later experiments, using more advanced fMRI technology, pushed the timeline even further back. In one remarkable study, participants were asked to freely choose between pressing a button with their left hand or their right hand. The researchers found that they could predict with surprising accuracy which button the participant would press up to 10 seconds, before the participant themselves became consciously aware of their choice. 10 seconds. Imagine a gap that vast between the genesis of your action and your conscious acknowledgement of it. It's like watching a train moving down the tracks and only seeing the light of its locomotive a full 10 seconds after. It's already past a critical switch point. This wasn't just a simple motor action. This involved an apparent choice between two distinct options. The brain, specifically areas in the prefrontal cortex and parietal cortex, was silently laying the groundwork, orchestrating the decision, long before the conscious mind received the memo. So, when you sit down to make a truly complex decision, say choosing which university to attend or whether to accept a job offer, or even something as seemingly simple as what to say next in a conversation, who is truly making that call? Is it the you that deliberates, weighs pros and cons, and articulates a reasoned argument? Or is it a deeper, more primal part of your brain that has already charted the course and is merely handing off the finalized script to your conscious mind to perform? This phenomenon, the illusion of conscious intent, isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's a profound challenge to our deepest sense of self. It means that the very foundation of our legal systems, our moral judgments, and our personal responsibility could be built on a sandcastle of misconception. If we aren't truly the originators of our actions, how can we be held fully accountable for them? The implications ripple outwards, touching every aspect of what it means to be human. To this day, we may never fully reconcile the chilling evidence of a predetermined brain with our innate feeling of free will. The space between the unconscious genesis of a decision and its conscious realization remains a dark, mysterious chasm, challenging everything we thought we knew about ourselves. Perhaps true free will isn't about conjuring choices from a vacuum, but about our capacity to veto an urge, to consciously override an unconscious impulse, giving us a sliver of agency in a largely predetermined landscape. Or perhaps simply understanding these subconscious forces, acknowledging their profound influence, is itself a step towards a new kind of freedom, the freedom that comes from knowing the true architecture of our minds and acting with a more informed awareness of the invisible strings that pull us. It's a journey into the dark corners of the self, a psychological tightrope walk between determinism and autonomy. And the truth, unsettling as it may be, is that the answers are still largely unknown, prompting us to forever question, who's truly in control of your decisions? If you want more mysteries like this, the next video explores the unsettling reality of sleep paralysis and the thin veil between waking and dreaming.